There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're 4 minutes into qualifying here at the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 Series, round 4, live from the magnificent Sandown Raceway, home of the Metropolitan Races out in Eastern Melbourne. I'm John Van Ree. With me tonight, I've got Ryan Van Ree, Mark Duggan away on family duties. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
So, for those who don't know, Ryan is the Flavio Brigatore of the WK&P team, so he's jumped in tonight to join the chat to keep me company. Big shout out to Steve Murray in the chat, of course, as these boys are already battling out for their second lap by the looks, the way they're running out. Have a quick look at this circuit here at Sandown. We start on the start-finish way past the grandstands of the race circuit, down into turn 1, a hard braking left-hander down in the first gear, and then we go through the turn 2 and 3 chicane complex into the slow corner 4 down at the lake at Corrigan's Road. And then we head up the hill through turn 5 up into the fast sweeping 6, 7, 8 and 9 known as Dandenong Corner. Keep an eye on that place tonight. There'll be plenty of guys off there. And then we head down into turn 11 and turn 12 back through the kink in 13 and across the line. And these boys should be doing this in about a 105. It's a fast track, short track, and 66 laps around here is going to be some hard work for these boys. So at the moment, James Scott, after his maiden win in the Pro Series last Wednesday night, has already set the fastest time here for the 105.9. So James having a cracking series at the moment. And of course, James definitely doing very well in our series, winning multiple races at the moment. This guy is in form. Great to see. And behind him, we've got the champ, Brenton Hobson. He's 0.2 seconds back. Don't underestimate the Hobbo. Missed last week due to illness. Well, I think it was illness. He spent some time in hospital. But yeah, so Hobbo back on deck. Great to have. And that looks like Brady Sanders in the background there. And Damien Johnstone rounding out the top 3 at the moment. It's actually top 5 from Synergy Sim Racing. These boys are on fire. And Dave Baldock thinks Blake's car's missing a sponsor. Dave, D37 Racing's more than happy to sponsor Blake's car. What would you say to that one, Ryan? What would be the asking price?
Well, I think we might have to work that one out off air. I definitely think there's a deal that can be made there.
Definitely.
It'd be a tough negotiation, but I think we could get there in the end.
And big shout out as well in the chat. We've got Peter Verme. I think I did say hello to Steve Murray as well. How are you, Pete? So, already 7 minutes into this quali session. As we're on board here with the Ho-Oh. He's having a bit of a cracker, sitting in second. Warboys has broken up this SSR dominance to put himself into third. You said he was looking quick tonight.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier he was looking quick in the practice session. Quite tight from that third position down. Obviously, James Scott and Hobson getting 2 quick laps in there.
And then go into fifth.
Left.
Then go into fifth as well. Yeah, I know. it's almost like the team bosses in the house and they all have to perform.
Yeah, he was mentioning just before we come on the broadcast that he's got a sore arm, so I don't know if he's just trying to use that as an excuse or, but he's definitely pulled that lap out of somewhere.
Well, these boys are now on another outlap. While they start this outlap, we might just quickly have a look at where the championship standings are at the moment. Of course, this is without drop rounds. As I was saying, James Scott being very dominant with a 60-point or nearly 70-point lead over Paul Young. The Banter Alliance driver doing really well. They'd be sitting in the top three. Blake Wallboy sitting in third, consistency paying off. Michael Taliancic missing tonight. That's going to be hit his points. He's only 2 points behind Wallboys. Then we drop back for Timmy Mulford from Phoenix Racing. So Tim's in the house tonight. It's good to see. Christian Smart, Synergy Sim Racing. And Kenneth Ladder in 7th. The champ, he's back in 8th. And then we've got Jordan Ross in 9th. Still suffering from wheelbase issues after having to miss the Pro Series as well and dropping out from last week. Dengate rounds out the top 10. From Schultz, Rudd, Freer, Mascord, Johnston, the big fish, Michael Whiting in 16th. Ash Barella, surprising everybody in the team, sitting in 17th for WK&P. Then 9-5ers, Rick Knetsov in 18th, Dylan O'Shea is 19th, and Luke Rosella from Synergy Sim Racing rounds out our top 20. As Hobbo about to start a cracker of a lap. And he is absolutely doing very well here. Looking very composed. And also in the chat, we've got Sean Mack. Big shout out to Sean McNamara, Mr. 95 Sim Sports. I believe he's having some computer issues in the last couple of days as well. So everyone's struggling with a bit of tech at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are, it'll get you.
Just ask the Jordan Ross with his new anchor for his jet ski.
Oh, I don't know the story there. Is there a story?
His Simuq wheel decided to stop last week. And of course, he couldn't get it going for the Pro Series on Wednesday night. So Jordan, unfortunately, had to miss out on running at Spa.
That's disappointing. I actually did get to watch that race, and it was a cracking race.
Oh, it definitely was. Of course, Jared Philsell's appeal being upheld last night. So James Scott remains the winner of the race. So 11 minutes down here. What can Hobbo do? On a flyer. Actually, I think he might be on an in-lap.
He's just trying to get in fast.
Of course, these boys trying to make the most of an open track as well. So Hobbo, not much traffic around him, so he's done well there. The boys behind. If we go back behind Hobbo, you've got Dengate and Warboys, I think, all tucked up together. Sorry, Dengate. He's got John Stone and Brian Borg behind him. And of course, this Sandown circuit quite well known for having to use those curbs. So these boys working pretty hard at the moment as they duck into the pits. See if we can find someone on an outlap that we can jump on with. We might jump on with Beef Cheeks, Michael Angus from Fishy Motorsports. As he's on an outlap. What we might do for tonight is we might actually jump on and go to the cockpit view, and we will run a lap during quali here and see what Michael can do. That's Blake. That's a good start. I don't know what I've done there.
So a few technical difficulties.
Well, it wasn't Blake when I clicked a second ago, so...
It's all right. Nobody's immune to him. Definitely looks like he's working the wheel there.
It definitely does. There's Michael here. coming down into the first corner. Nice roll through there in third gear. Pull it back up. This is what you don't want to have in qualifying. Oh, a bit loose. That's going to cost him a tenth or two. Try to pull up on the grass. Hopefully he didn't get a 1X. As the Banter Alliance car gets out of the way. Hey, Michael looking very focused here. A little bit wide, gets it pulled up a bit. A little bit on the edge. Probably already fighting back, trying to fight back, pushing a bit harder after the indiscretions in turns 2 and 3.
Definitely looks a bit relaxed there.
Yeah, he's bailed on that one straight away.
Yeah, plenty of time left when you got a little bit of traffic in front of you too, and come in, get a new set of tyres and give it another crack.
And Adam Briggs out on lawn mowing duties.
He's doing well, sitting in 6th at the moment.
Of course, Adam, former champion of the series.
It is very tight from that 3rd spot down though.
Definitely not much in it. All the way down, really, to the top 20.
Get a little bit of a tow here, or yeah, you just got to time it.
Yes, get it right.
Long back straight, get a good tow down there. Could see anyone jump from that 10th position up.
Jump on with War Boys here. He's looking a bit smooth. I'd say he's on a outlap at the moment. So Blake sitting 10th in the Pro Series at the moment, but 3rd in qualifying here. Having a cracking run of form at the moment.
Yeah, he hasn't had the outright pace too much, but the consistency has been what's really helped Blake along.
Yeah, definitely showing that consistency. And that's one of the things he worked on last season in most of the leagues he's been racing in, is just trying to be consistent. You don't make unforced errors. You don't lose spots. That's the theory.
And he's also been able to race well, like when he has had a bit of a bad qualifying or something, he's been able to try and work something out of nothing.
Yeah. Which is the battle. As you can see, he's got the intention face on here. Not sure what that hairy stuff is on top of his lip.
Yeah, I'll have to ask his partner if she approves of it or not. This is probably the most facial hair I've ever seen Blake with, so it's a new look for Blake.
Definitely a new look.
But hey, it's proving to be fast at the moment, so we won't change it.
As long as he stays fast as my Crow driver for the V8's Pro Enduro Series.
Now, I have to ask you, how did you snag that?
How? Let's just say it was a case of if you've been part of race control or safety car drivers, you're allowed to be involved. And Blake has done a tour of duty a couple of times as he bails on this lap. He has done a tour of duty a couple of times in the vets.
So it's a technicality.
Technicality? We'll take it. Someone smoking in the pits there. Not sure who that is. That's probably not really the go.
Just looking at our Facebook comments tonight, Jordan Ross has commented there's a Simicube 2 on its way.
No, I thought there would be. I thought there would be. That would be the terminology in the aviation industry known as aircraft on ground, which basically means that everything gets shipped no matter what the cost, no matter what the time, no matter what the price. Gets put on the first available aircraft from the States to get the part here in the country. I reckon that's pretty much the same with Jordan's Simicube 2.
Well, I'm more than happy to trade a DD1. You know, still in mint condition. Only used on Sundays. No, that's great to hear.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, coming back, Jordan. Get you back behind the wheel, and instead of back in the admin chat for the Pro Series. I'm going to be in trouble for saying no.
See, Dave Kirby too. Just admiring John's skill to find the loophole.
Yeah, come on, Curbs. I've got to do something. Get a laugh. So Hobbo still back in P2 here. James in the pits. 11 minutes to go. Wallboy's on another outlap as well. Can these boys find a couple of tenths to get themselves up the leaderboard? Michael Whiting's knocked himself up into 5th. We did say there wasn't much in any of this.
Yeah, and I think Harrison's put in a little bit faster lap too, just knocking Adam Briggs down one more spot. So it's tightening, definitely tightening up the top there. But the top 3 or 4 haven't been knocked off yet. But obviously they know that there's a lot of pressure there because they're still out there giving it a red hot crack.
Absolutely. And might just have a look where Blake is on track. He's coming up that back straight. Of course, the boys will be running a new livery next season.
Yeah, new livery this next season.
Next season. Not done by me, which will be a first.
Yeah, a little pressure's been taken off you as Blake aborts that one.
Yep. It might jump off Damien Johnstone, who's pushed himself up into 4th. He's on an outlap at the moment. Got Michael Angus in front of him, so this will be a good little battle. Angus sitting back in 6th. The Big Fish Whiting back in 5th. He's in the pits at the moment. Clock ticking down.
This is where we were speaking before about getting that toe. You know, there's not a much time splits these two, so if Damien can get a decent toe here, he might put a bit of a
pressure on more boys.
Well,
only 8 thousandths of a second between them.
That's not much. But with all these curves, it only takes one little mistake and you can throw a lap away.
Absolutely. Sticklin's talking such a minuscule time as 8 thousandths of a second. As up the back straight here.
It actually looks like Michael's pulling away, so this might be a better lap for him.
Yeah, Angus has pulled away a little bit. Of course, Briggsy's tucked up behind Damien Johnstone here too, so he might be just pulling Briggsy around. Trying to get Briggs in front of Dengate. Nice to see the boys getting out of the way.
Oh, that's
Radu having a bit of an off skip.
That's not what you want to see when you come into your second last corner.
No. And Angus does a 106.5, doesn't move up. Johnstone doesn't move up, but Adam Briggs pops up.
There you go. You called it.
Toadie's teammate.
I know I wouldn't like my teammate getting that close to my time, so he might be a better teammate than I am. But yet again, I've never been in that position, so when you've got the likes of Blake and Harrison out there, I don't have to worry about being in front of them.
Nah. That's a great run from those boys. And James back on track, going slowly, prepping, I think, to do a quick one. So it's very composed. No one around him, so it's not going to get any assist with a toe on this lap. Of course, James does struggle from time to time with starting, so don't think being 0.2 in front helps. And then if it turns into a fuel-saving race. We all heard it from James himself. I do not feel safe. Don't believe in it. I just go fast.
Well, you know, raw pace is one of the things you need to win the race.
But James is fast.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I don't know. I did watch the race last week, and it definitely did look like there was fuel saving going on. But you know, that might just be an outsider's look.
Because he's bailed on this one. Because James, of course, is very motivated. We might jump on with Briggsy and see if he can jump Johnstone this time coming through. James very motivated to try and win the series, which is fantastic to see. After a couple of seasons of being hit and miss with missing a few races here and there.
Yeah, he had been popping in and out, but you know, it's definitely got a lot more tighter and a lot more competition in this series now. So I was only speaking to my brother earlier tonight, and he's I know the boys have been pressuring him in the team to come back and race, and there's nothing stopping him, but he reckons he needs to do a bit more practice.
Yeah. It has stepped up. The top 10 in this league really has stepped up to the next level. Previously, I would have said it's probably the top 4 or 5. But now, yeah, we've sort of gone that next step again. And some big names in here. There's quite a few guys in here in the Pro Series. Quite a few guys who are quick and on their day can pull something out that's quite interesting.
Yeah, and it's really good to see from a couple of seasons ago some of those names that did, you know, season 1, season 2, up in that top 6, top 7.
Yeah. There's what's happened to Smart and Schultz there. Other one mowing the lawns. Not sure what Schultz is up to. And Christian Smart is facing backwards in turn 3. Another ideal spot not to park. So obviously a bit of a coming together there of those two boys.
Nice little flick spin there.
Yes.
4.5 minutes to go, you'll get it back to the pits and get another lap in, have another crack.
Yeah, as Briggsy comes through Dandenong. Might go the gyro this time and have a bit of a look. He's bailed as well. I'm missing everybody's laps at the moment.
They're all leaving it for that last dash to the line.
Yeah, it looks like it. So here comes James. He's looking very composed. Oh. Passes Kenny Ladder like he's sitting still. Well, he was sitting still. Definitely a lot more track room to get a lap done. Not fighting for spots like they were in Pro Series on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I still think that we're going to get a fair bit of congestion with these next 3.5 minutes.
It's James too.
Doesn't matter how long you give people to qualify, it always comes down to that last 5 minutes.
Scotty comes across the line, doesn't improve. Still does a 105.9. 6.1 instead of 1.2. Yeah. Consistent.
It's, Hobson's been a little bit quiet since posting that time early.
He's back on an outlap. Coming down through Dandenong. Warboys, I think, is on a flyer at the moment. See what he can do. No, he's gone into the pits as well. Concentration level looking very high there.
No, he doesn't have enough time to get around and get one last go at it. As Brian Borg jumps up.
Borgie up into 4th. Big move from the 9.5er.
It's closing all those gaps up.
Here comes Briggs and Johnstone. But can they improve? And taking a bit of time to update there. I think might be starting their lap maybe. Briggs has gone lawn mowing. John Stone on a flyer. Of course, Paul Young, usually Paul well up in the top 20, the top 10. So Youngie at the moment, sitting back in 15th. That's a big surprise for me.
Yeah, it looks like he's just starting an outlap here, so who knows, he might pull a rabbit out of a hat here. One last go at it.
And of course, the man, the myth, the legend in the chat, Jamie McKnight. Sir Jamie, not on track. He's in the server, but not on track, so not sure what's go with Jamie. Probably gear fails again. As I've just gone back to Scenic, so I'll get this sorted. Jump on Michael Whiting, the big fish.
He's doing well there in 7th.
Battling away. And 23. Brad Ratu stuck in the fence, I think, so this will be interesting. Minute to go here in quali, so I'd probably say they'll leave him there.
Yeah, I think it'd be fairly safe to say that he'll be parked up there for the rest of the session.
Yeah, that will be his session over. Jamie's just cruising tonight. Of course, busy man like Jamie, you got to make the most when you can get a chance to do a bit of cruising. Of course, does all the setups for the Vets boys as well. It's a fair effort in itself.
The amount of laps and time that would take, it's just amazing. He's done it for quite a few seasons now.
But just to be able to develop a set that's drivable across 3 splits is just impressive.
Well, that's it. Like most people that go out there set up their own car, but to make something that's drivable for all levels of driver, from split 1 to split 3.
Yeah, impressive.
Yeah. And that.
Whereas Warboys doesn't go any quicker. John Stone, Whiting's had enough in the last corner. What can H do?
Okay. He's just been bumped back a couple here. Hopefully he can finish this lap off well.
Let's see what he can do. No, he's bailed. Another one running the old livery. These boys need to start running the right liveries. Of course, speaking of liveries, this man in his first outing in his new one for 9.5 Sim Sports, Cameron G. Jones. What can Cameron do here on his lap? Sitting back in 11th. He'd love to be top 10. He's bailed as well. Youngie's bailed. And Freeman. Looking where he is, I'd be surprised if he'd be on an in lap, I think. Scott coming across the line. He's not much quicker. Warboy's the only other man on track, which I think he'll be bailing in as well. And that is the end of quali. That's everybody off track now. Let's have a look at the grid as these boys start to form up. As itself gone to the grid straight away. James Scott on pole alongside teammate Brenton Hobson. A 105.9 gets him into that pole position. Great drive there. And then for something different, the Synergy team have been busted up. We've got Blake Warboys and Brian Borg on the second row. Third row, we go back to Synergy with Damien Johnstone with a great qualifying effort into 5th, ahead of Briggsy in 6th. Big Fish Michael Whiting in 7th for Fishy Motorsports alongside Harrison Dengate in the top 10. And then next row back, we have Fishy Motorsports Michael Angus in 9th and Kenneth Ladder from Synergy Sim Racing in 10th. In 11th, we've got 9.5 Sim Sports Cameron G. Jones alongside Brody Sentence in 12th. That is a great effort from Brody to get himself into 12th position. Then we jump up to 13th, where we've got Craig Schultz from 9.5 Sim Sports alongside Seth Brown. Paul Young from Banter Alliance back in 15th. Bit of a surprise there. And 16th, we've got Sean Rigby. 17th, Christian Smart alongside SSR teammate Matty Mascord. The next row, we've got Jamie McKnight from Synergy Sim Racing, the People's Champion himself, alongside Timmy Mulford from Phoenix Racing. And then we've got WK&P's Ash Barella in 21st, alongside Synergy Sim Racers Tom Freer. And then we have Bradley Ratu in 23rd, alongside Thomas Freeman in 24th. And then we flick over the page, a couple of latecomers, increasing our field number real quickly. Dylan Rudd and Dylan O'Shea, the man who was second and third last week. The two Dylans round out our last row. And then, of course, we have Sebastian as our race control and Richie Barella as the wild man driving the safety car. It is a interesting grid set we've got tonight.
There's a few big names a bit further back than I would have expected, so I think we're definitely going to see a bit of strategic brilliance come into it tonight, like likes of Jamie. I think we can expect him to move forwards a few.
Oh, I think so. I'll be keeping an eye out on McKnight as we get ready to go for live pictures here, getting ourselves set up. Trying to get the best camera angle for the start. So not long to go here, and we will be away. So looking forward to seeing what these guys can all do. As we have about 10 seconds to go before we go green here, Ryan.
It's going to be very interesting. I think we won't see any action until about turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, after vets, I wouldn't rule out turn 1 as we're about to go racing.
Green flag.
We're away. James has bogged it up again. That's allowed Hobson to go. Warboys looks like he's through. Seth Brown, Ash Burrell, Brad Radu in the background in a big accident already. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Hadn't even made turn 1. Hadn't even made the start line for those boys. The front of the field looking like they're around. Someone's gone around on turn 1 as well in the background. I think that might have been Matty Mascord. But we'll stay on this here. James Scott been jumped by Hobson and Warboys. Damien Johnstone 4th, Briggs 5th, Borg 6th, Harrison Dengate in 7th, Whiting in 8th. Just keep a bit of an ear out here. There might be a safety car. As these boys continuing on. We've still got a car stuck on the start-finish line. But Johnston trying to tuck up behind Scott here. So the lead 5 cars made a bit of a breakaway, but Hobson trying to pull away from Warboys as quick as possible. Warboys already under pressure from the hard charger, James Scott. And our safety car has been called. The boys are bailing in for their first stops already. Poor old...
A very good move. Now, it'd be interesting to know when that call was made, if Brenton actually had a choice to get in, or it was just that little bit too late for him.
Well, this is really going to shake the field up. So Hobson stays out, Johnstone stays out, Briggs, Borgs, Whiting, Angus, Brody Senton stays out, Schultz, Freer, Rigby, everybody else after that's gone in. So Warboy's out before Scott. So that's a good jump there. We might take the opportunity of the safety car here to double back and just have a look at some of these incidences. And we'll jump with Seth Brown. What happened to Seth? Someone's jumped the start there. 2 of them have jumped the start. And Seth Brown stalled. There we go. And he's been clipped by one of the Synergy. Looks like Freya, and that's created on the other side with Barella and Ratu, I think. No jump on board with Barella. So Barella gets going. A little bit slow. Radu pulling up alongside. And one of the Synergy boys comes across. That might have been Freya as well. And that is Barella, I think, stuck in the fence.
Yes.
And real quickly, we'll have a look at what happened to Matty Mascord. This is the one down into turn 1. Matty's just clipped into those 2, into one of the 9.5 boys.
Looks like there's a bit of a lock up there on the inside.
Where?
Couldn't get it turned.
And we'll jump back to live pictures. Jump on with the safety car. It was driven by Richard Barella, driving the Kia. And of course, big shout out to Vehicle Finance Solutions, our safety car sponsor. We haven't seen the safety car too many times the last couple of weeks. And here we are tonight, lap 1, already out. Hopefully it's not an omen for the evening.
I admire the look of that safety car. It's a neat looking car.
Absolutely very neat. Someone else diving into the pits now. Looks like Raw Boys and Dengate again.
Oh, that's interesting. Getting 2 out of the way.
I think at the regs, though, you can only do one under your safety car.
That'll be an interesting one.
It'll be interesting to see whether they haven't been caught out. Harry Dodds, typical lap 1 idiot. Red mist has descended. A little bit of that. A little bit of unluckiness there with somebody stalling themselves from jumping the start. Of course, these guys race with no aids. So you stall the car quite easily. You haven't got an auto clutch. And you're thrown straight into the mix of it very quickly.
Yeah, there was a couple guys reacted pretty quickly to that. It was, I think, the first car that went past. Be interesting to get on board of that. Just how close that was.
First car, yeah, I'd have to see who that was. Might have been Brad Radu, might have been the first one past. I'll see what I can quickly do there. Probably only got a second on that. And what did I say? It was Brad Radu. So Radu, he's gone to the inside and he's had Barella come across.
Unfortunately, nowhere to go there. It's a difficult one.
And McKnight might have been the other one. McKnight,
See,
he's got through.
On the right-hand side there, the quick reflexes.
Timmy Mulford.
So,
Go back to live pictures. These boys won't be too far away from starting as the safety car's taken off. And we'd go back to my normal camera so I get what I want next time I click on that. And safety car is in. Brenton Hobson has control of the field. When's he going to go? Is he going to hold them up? Surely Hobbo will go on the apex. Hobbo's away. Got a nice little jump too.
Something tells me he's done that before.
Yeah, it wouldn't be his first time.
No, took off right in the middle of the apex there. He's got himself a bit of a buffer already.
Of course, teammate behind him. Let's go back. Broadcast. And might have an issue, which I've sorted. So, Brendan Hobson gets the jump from our first safety car. John Stone in second. Briggs in third. Of course, these boys tonight, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a one fast repair, unlimited fuel. Incident points is 25. They've got 2 compulsory pit stops, and they only have 2 sets of tyres, which will make this rather interesting for the lads. So diving in lap 1, I don't know whether that looks after your tyres. You'd have to make sure that you didn't change tyres then, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's easy to overlook when you just dive into the pits.
Yes.
Like that. But a few guys tonight will be glad there's that one fast repair.
Yeah, definitely. Be needed.
66 laps around here for wounded car.
A long way.
It's a long way to go. With having the 2 pit stops and only 2 sets of tyres, it allows them to play some strategy game and come back into it.
And Wallboys has had an incident. What's happened to Blake? Caught out wide. Coming in too wide into the corner here. A little bit of a tap from behind. Not sure who it was. They've spun him around. He gets it back under control. Doesn't look like there's too much damage to the front end. Got his rear wing and stuff. Only a very gentle tap. That puts him on the back foot though.
Yeah, the old A21 rear wing copped a knock there.
That puts the pressure on. That's the problem though, when you do throw yourself into the back of the pack there. So Hobson got himself out. Briggs is a second behind. Johnstone is behind. So these two getting a little bit of a gap now. Might just jump down, have a look where Warboys is. I think he's tucked up, chasing down Dengate. Oh, looking very intense at the moment. Probably realises there's a fair bit of work to be done.
Yeah, I think, Blake here, he'll play it smart. He's not somebody that dwells on an issue like that. He'll just knuckle down. And he knows that, he's already got at least one of those pit stops out of the way. Question about whether it's 2 or not. I don't know what it states in the rules, whether you can do 1 or 2 stops under safety car.
I think it's 1 stop under a safety car. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, continue on. Dylan Rudd just been passed by James Scott. James Scott battling his way back through as well. So Rudd, of course, and James Scott both had stopped. And everyone else in front of these two have not stopped. So next target up the road, of course, will be the big fish. Michael Whiting. That's about a 1.5 seconds up the road from these boys. Good little battle with Sean Rigby. Throwing it right up on the curbs. It's opened the door up for Radu to come through.
That's
And
where a couple of those wounded cars getting picked on. There's a fair bit down the side of that one.
there's definitely some boys battling in this little group here. Tom Frere's trying to work his way back. He's already up 6 spots. Hey, Tom, one of the quick drivers starting from the rear grid at this race. Nicely working away. And jump back up, Dylan Rudd, under a lot of pressure from James Scott.
Yeah, that's impressive. He's up 18 spots already. Obviously, managed to get through the carnage.
Yeah, one of the tough jobs when you're a rear grid starter. Yeah, Matty Mascord has just had an incident and jumped to the pits. Might just have a look what happened to Matty. Of course, Matty, one of Mark's Nova Castrians. Somebody got Paul Young going into the pits, I think. No. Coming down in the Dandenong. Just a bit of a lock-up. Timmy Mulford behind going with him. And I think he's hit the wrong button there by mistake.
Now, race control won't be happy with that.
Let's go have a look again back with this battle. Jamie McKnight battling away.
Yeah, Jamie's managed to pick off 2 spots after being caught up in a little bit of those incidents at the start.
Of course, Jamie, an absolute battler on track. There's these lads continuing on here. This is a very big battle pack. Of course.
They don't want to give up an inch, do they?
Nah. Some absolute battlers in this group. Seth Brown, one of the new drivers we've got in the league at the moment. Just in front of Jamie. Then we've got Paul Young, Sean Rigby, Thomas Freeman. Warboys trying to latch onto the back of this group.
It's interesting to see how wounded Paul Young is just hanging in there.
Yeah, he's definitely battling away. We might just jump up now, have a bit of a look at Kenny Ladder. Kenny Ladder coming in at Dandenong here under a lot of pressure from Bradley Radu. So these boys, these 3 cars here, Cameron G. Jones, of course, running the 9.5 livery for the first time. Sitting there behind these guys.
He'd be looking to put on a good performance tonight.
Shay, pay back a little bit of the faith that's been shown from the boys. Good Cameron, one of the guys, always been quick, starting to find some consistency with his pace now, which has been great to see over the course of the last couple of seasons. And of course, all the boys running the West End Motor Group banner on their cars, which is great to see. Of course, the West End Motor Group, fairly large consortium, consists of 2 Easy Finance, Parramatta Isuzu, Utes, Parramatta Mazda, Parramatta Peugeot Professionals, Parramatta City of Vale and Great Wall Motors, Blacktown Mazda, and Blacktown, City of Arle and Great Wall Motors as well. So if you are in the Sydney area, in the market for a motor vehicle, I highly recommend you go down and see the team at West End Motor Group. I'm sure their friendly staff and helpful staff are more than willing to help you out. So there's a few boys diving into the pits again on lap 10 here, so not sure what the go was there.
Interesting 10 laps in to be getting pit stops out of the way.
No, I think it's actually an SDK. They're running wide coming out of the last turn. No, my apologies. Another one of these tracks.
Yeah.
Right, these boys battling. Might jump back up front. Hobbo has a comfortable little 0.8 second gap from Damien Johnstone. Briggsy's about 1.8 back. And we've got Borgie sitting in fourth. Borgie sort of running by himself with a second either side. Beef Cheeks, Michael Angus, he's running in fifth. Great drive from Michael. Of course, we're sixth of the way through the race now. Dylan Rudd up 19 spots now, under all sorts of pressure from James Scott.
Now, James was one to make a pit under that safety car, so he's may have a bit more fuel on there, which is impressive to see him putting the pressure on Dylan Rudd.
Of course, Angus just in front of these boys. And then Michael White, oh, having a bit of a look there.
All that. He's just looking to see if Dylan would make a mistake.
If you don't show, they don't know.
That's it, but Dylan, I know, has been in this position quite a few times, so I don't think James would be worrying too much.
That's a big shout out to Ross from Turn In Racing Apparel, one of the sponsors of the 9.5ers. I believe our shirts turn up in the next couple of days.
You're just putting a little bit of pressure on there, are you?
Nah, they're in the mail. I better turn the ticker on. I haven't done that yet. Apologies. James and Dylan here, absolutely putting some cracking lap times in. Dylan with a 107.3, 107.3 for James.
It's interesting to see they just make their times at different parts of the track. You know, when we got to the end of the back straight, James was putting a lot of pressure on Dylan there. You also, you know, to make 19 spots, you've obviously used your tyres pretty hard in the first stint of this race.
Definitely, and you can see they're starting to put a little bit of pressure on Michael Angus as well now.
Yeah. So, yeah, if Dylan can get this spot here, it might just give him a bit of breathing room from James as he's looking to make a pass.
Of course, Michael looking very intense at the moment. I think you can see he's got the boys behind. No, Mr. Cool, keeping it calm.
Yeah, he looks a bit relaxed. He's almost got that chair reclined back, I think. It's good. You know, 66 lap race. You don't want to be stressing too hard at the start. You know, obviously, if the pressure gets too much, well,
Let him go.
that's it.
Look after your own car.
Don't need to get into too hot of a battle this early in the race.
Yeah, no point cooking the tyres. Oh, Ruddy having a little bit of a look there, right under the wing this time.
Might end up losing two here. James is tucked right up under Dylan there.
Oh, yep. 2 for 1 deal.
Yep. It's all about the long game.
Yep. Now, this is where you want to tuck up behind these two boys. Try and let them carry you along. Look
That's
after
it.
the car, look after the tyres.
These two boys here had probably 3/10 over Michael the last couple of laps, so you just snag on with them. You know, some cheap lap time, just down the straights, getting that towed.
Sean Mack asking, has Michael Angus, sorry, Dylan Rudd pitted? Yeah, he did pit early. Rudd and Scott both have done the early pit stop thing. Let's see if I can get that work. We'll get. So there we go. Hobbo, Johnstone, Briggs, Borgie haven't stopped. Rudd, Scott have stopped. And then Angus, Whiting, Sentence haven't stopped. And then Ladder, Radu, Jones, O'Shea, Freer, Freeman, McKnight, Brown, Young, Warboys with 2 stops. Young with 2 stops and Smart with 1 stop. So a few of the boys done 2 stops in that first stint.
Yes, actually, I didn't realise that Dylan had made a pit stop, so that is pretty impressive.
It's very impressive.
Effectively, our race leader. Obviously, there's a fair bit still to play out, with only being allowed 2 sets of tyres and stuff like that. But
Good little battle package out of the top 10 with Radu, Jones, O'Shea, and Freer.
And, you know, Dylan's made 13 spots. It's impressive, but he looks hard in battle here.
Definitely nose down, working to the grindstone. But Radu under a lot of pressure with these boys up the front of this train. Radu, of course, up 13 spots as well.
Yeah, just hanging on to that 10th position. Yeah, he's been hanging on to it for the last 10 laps now, so he's not looking to give it away too easily.
A couple of good little battle packs still around the track. Jump back up with the Dylan Rudd and James Scott. These two have been sparring most of the season.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know whether they're battling each other too fast, but it looks like they're closing in on Brian Borg here.
Okay.
So they might just be working together, working forwards.
Damien Johnstone, the first of our non-stoppers to pit. He's rolled off early. Hobbo now, 3-second lead up the road from Briggsy. He's 3 seconds up the road from Borg, who has Dylan Rudd and James Scott tucked up behind. And
Race controls earning their keep here. It looks like Thomas Freer has received a drive-through penalty.
oh, that's a blow. Of course, Tom up 9 spots in the 13th. I'm not sure what that was for, but I missed that one. Yeah, I'm just going back through my notes. I can't find anything there, so this is from something earlier.
I think Race Control's been working pretty hard to get through those
Early laps. Michael Whiting peels off into the pits this time. Now the Bees boys now starting to feel Borgie in front of them. Lap times have slowed down by 2/10.
Hobson's done a good job here. You know, he hasn't pitted yet. He's just managed to sort of ease away, get himself a bit of breathing space.
Oh, there we go. Rudd and Scott's now through on Borgie.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when or if Hobson waits for him to get to him. He's still got Briggs just up the road.
Hobson's still 7 seconds up the road from Rudd. So Hobbo, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, master of fuel saving. That great win.
I think probably wait as long as he can, knowing that they have to do a stint on older tyres somewhere along the lines.
Oh, I'm blown away. We've got an observer in race control tonight. Boys must be feeling very special. Dave Baldock, sitting in race control, he's agreeing that they are working very hard. Who's that? Dylan has just made an error. What did Dylan just do?
have a feeling.
Oh, on the grass, into the wall, bang, into the tyres. That's a big hit into the tyres. Got it going again. Managed to keep it in front of the lads.
That's unfortunate for Dylan. He was 22, 23 spots up from the start of the race.
I think he was doing well. Like, he was there with Scotty. He just had to hang on. Because we've still got to see what Hobson and Briggs do and where they shake out. And of course, they're going to be green flag stopping, so.
Well, that's it. You can't count him out. He obviously pulled some tricks in the first pit stop to jump so many. You know, he still got past James Scott. You know, James, one of our front row starters. So, be interesting those last 10 laps to see where everyone unfolds.
Still a long way to go. They haven't even reached third of the race distance at the moment. This might just drop back. Check on Brad Radu. As he's tucked up behind Brody Sentence. Brody sitting in 6th. That's a great drive for him. Dylan Rudd is still in front of these boys. Still circulating in 5th, up 20 spots. And Dylan O'Shea at the back of this train. He's up 17 spots. Cameron G. Jones of these boys as well.
Yeah, and Jamie McKnight's just moved through to 12th, so up 7 spots. Just working through the field slowly. There's another one that's really good fuel save, so.
Yeah, don't underestimate McKnight when it comes to fuel saving.
And only two spots behind him there. He's just sitting in behind Seth Brown and Blake. Blake after that little mistake at turn 3.
Of course, 2 stops as well under that safety car, which I thought was an interesting decision. Interesting post-race. See if we can find out what the reason was.
You know, might have picked up a little bit of damage. Didn't want to use that fast repair, so you know, you're going to get a little bit of damage repaired. May as well do it under safety car. So, yeah, I'm sure there's a reason there.
A little bit of logic.
Either that or Blake's read over the rule book. Fine-tooth comb.
Of course, Blake's caught up to McKnight and Brown in front of him. He's missing a bonnet from that earlier incident.
I don't think there's many cars left out there that haven't got a little bit of panel damage.
Yeah, of course, that'll be affecting his straight line speed as well, particularly at this circuit where you got the 2 straightaways. Such a short lap time, but the draft makes all the difference.
Sounded like you need some Bay 21 coffee beans there, Johnny.
Yeah, sorry about that. And McKnight goes wide, opens the door up for Brown. Does Wallboy sneak through as well? No.
No, can't see Jamie giving up 2 spots easy.
And quick look at man in front of these boys, Thomas Freeman from Fishy Motorsports. Or as I like to dub him, Free Willy. Oh, don't worry, it's more fish puns. As Borgie and Briggsy go into the pits. So plenty happening up in front of here. So probably see a few boys start to jump some spots. Dylan O'Shea's now into 5th. With all these guys pitting. That moves Dylan into 5th, up 21 spots. Dylan Rudd, after that off that he had earlier, he's still circulating, up 22 spots into 3rd. So great drive from Dylan.
That's the thing, with taking one of those compulsory pit stops so early, he's sort of stuck having to stay out there with a damaged car. Obviously, you still need to work to your game plan.
There's still a long way to go. McKnight now under pressure from War Boys, but this is where this gets that done. Jamie, of course, will be playing the long game as well. And Borgie's just past Schultz. Bit of a 9-5 SimSport move there. Damien Johnstone tucked up behind these guys. So definitely lap 24 at the moment. These guys starting to put on a few moves. Dengate not too far back this battle as well. Paul Young now lining up McKnight. And of course Tom Freer in this battle. Sorry, not McKnight. So Freer gains another spot. Dylan O'Shea. Under a bit of pressure from teammate Cam Jones. And to come back a little bit further, look, this Dengate, Young H. There's a couple of fishy cars behind him with Angus and Whiting.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Tom Frere still sitting in 12th now. He had a drive-through penalty only a few laps ago, so it seems like it hasn't hurt him too much.
He got away with that a little bit at the moment. There we go. Word in from James's engineer, Scott Nolan, that he pitted with no tyres, just fuel.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh.
So getting the tyre stint out of the way early. James Scott, good move.
Looks like James just pitted too.
Yeah, just in, yep. They're getting it out of the way. Hobson's pitted, sorry. He's referring to Hobson when he pitted, sorry. That was my mistake. Sorry, Scott.
That gives Dylan back the lead. And Dylan O'Shea sitting in third there, 23 positions.
Gained.
Also, Bradley Ratu's 21 positions. So some big movers in there.
Oh, these are the boys that all started from the rear of the grid. So 9-5 Sim Sports taking the top 4 spots at the moment. Mark Dial telling Bulldog not to sit there and do something in race control. Lap 26 to 66. Still got 40 to go. And of course, Dylan, with the one fast repair, if he's used it, he might be in a little bit of trouble when he pits. The damage he's got. Might jump back. Seth Brown, one of the new guys in the league. He's caught up in a great little battle here. It's got James Scott behind, Black Wall Boys in front. Tom Freer tucked up behind Scotty.
It looks like we might have just missed something there. Obviously, Blake's jumped up into 8th position, Jamie down in 12th. It's only a couple laps ago that Jamie just had that off at turn 1, just in front of Blake.
Yeah, not sure.
It doesn't matter. We can't keep up with it. There's action all over the track.
Does put some good racing at Sandown. As Radu and O'Shea. Still nicely nose to tail. O'Shea's car looking very second hand.
Well, I suppose when you pass 23 cars, it's probably going to look a little bit wounded.
If you're looking for a cheap Mustang, give Sean McNamara a call. I think he's going to have one going after this.
One race old.
Those top 4 spots here taken by 9-5 Sim Sports at the moment. Let's check in with Hobbo. The man running the number 1 on the car. He's sitting in 6th at the moment.
He's running a little bit different strategy to the rest of them. He decided not to pit under that first safety car, so
And also, when he did pit, didn't change tyres. So he's gotten only 2 sets of tyres for the race for these boys. 2 compulsory pit stops, which means they've got to run a stint on old tyres. So Hobbo getting that out of the way now. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how many of these boys in that first stop buggered up their tyres when the guys have pitted on lap 1 and 2.
28 laps on a set of tyres so far. They'd definitely be feeling that one.
Sean McNamara saying the car's only been driven on Sundays. Great little battle though. The boys definitely fighting pretty hard back here.
Jamie might have to put in a pitch for a new salesman.
It looks like O'Shea's getting past Radu. Jump back on with Tom Frere. He's lining up Seth Brown. Plenty of action. Still a long way to go. And Borgie, he was up the front in the top 5 a bit earlier. Another one of the 9.5 boys battling his way through, tucked up in a SSR sandwich between Smart and Johnstone.
Harrison just tagging on the back of them there.
Yeah.
He was another one under that safety car to pit twice, so interesting what they were thinking there. But we'll wait and see if it all pays off.
Of course, we may have missed something. Oh, no!
It's not what you want.
That's not what you want.
I was only about to say Brian's Borg's car is nice and clean.
Let's let Dengate through with that little battle. And of course, has brought in Smart, Angus and Whiting to the pack as well now.
It'll be interesting to see what Brian Borg does here now, whether he goes for the redress or just lets race control deal with that one.
Of course, we'll leave that one up to race control. Cast of thousands in there tonight.
Yeah,
Now with Seb, Dave Worrell, of course, and now Dave Baldock, Reg James, Richie Burrell, the safety car driver.
I hear they had to call some extras in after the lap 1 incidents.
Good work going on here. So we might just jump back up, see what's going on with O'Shea and Radu. Still nice tight formation, tucked up behind Dylan Rudd.
Just as you changed screens there, it looked like Brian Borg was having a moment.
Something's happened because Smart's gone down.
Yep.
Let's just go back. Borgie had an incident. Go to the Supercheap Auto replay. Borgie's just ran wide. Slowed up. Dengate's passed. Everyone else is passed here. And everyone else is going to get through there. Someone else has run wide on the inside. So a bit of interest. And of course, that was Christian Smart ducking into the pits.
Yes, I don't know if he had a moment there or he may have been out of fuel. Looks like he's slowed up to get to pit lane.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. Might have been what you're saying. It's a tough track to come out of pits on here too, as we're seeing Christian Smart come out in this battle here at the lead.
Especially on cold tyres. Saw early in the race a lot of them after that safety car restart, just locking up brakes into that turn 1.
Right, just jump on how quickly how the People's Champ's getting on. He's tucked up behind Seth Brown. This is battle for 11th and 12th. Jamie looking very composed. Seth Brown under a bit of pressure here.
So it appears that Kenneth Ladder has just received a drive-through penalty as well. So I don't think we caught that incident, but
No, I don't think I did.
I don't know how these guys can keep it up. We're only halfway through the race and there's already been so much action.
Yeah. Very busy night in race control. Not only the one safety car so far, touch wood.
Definitely these only allowing 2 sets of tyres is definitely making it hard for these guys to hang on to their cars.
Making it very hard to push.
Yeah, we saw only a couple of laps ago Brian Bork just running that little bit wide by himself, so they're all struggling out there.
Just going to check in on Hobbo. So our current champion, so the champ at the moment, tucked up behind previous champion, Adam Briggs. The two champs nose to tail here, heading up the back straight. So Briggsy, of course, up one spot. Hobbo trying to fight up another 4. But it's all about these 9.5 Sim Sport boys in front of Briggsy here. He's got 4 of them to chase. And they're about 4 seconds up the road, so plenty of work to be done.
It's interesting to see how 2 guys that started off the rear of the field are now sitting first and second.
Yeah, definitely a bit of luck. Of course, expecting those 2 boys to stop shortly, knowing that they did their pit stop under safety car conditions.
A little bit of luck, but it hasn't been without its issues. Dylan having that moment by himself at turn 4.
Of course, a full tank of fuel around this place is going to get you quite a few laps in the tank. I think about 40, 40 to 44.
Interesting there just to see Hobson lighten the tyres up on the curb coming onto the back straight.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
So I believe his tyres are 34 laps old.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely struggling for traction.
I reckon a few of these boys will be hoping we get another safety car before we get home. So might just drop back a little bit, have a look at it's going on with Damien Johnstone, Brian Borg, Harrison Dengate, Mick Knight. This is this battle pack that formed up a bit earlier.
Damien should be pretty racing in the back area, having only pitted a few laps ago.
Something fishy going on.
Definitely pitting together. Smart choice.
Angus and Whiting. The big fish and beef cheeks. In for their second stop. Very smart move.
Yeah, so both of those guys started inside our top 10, so definitely got the pace. A little bit different strategy to everyone else. Be interesting to see where they pop out.
Wallboy's about to try and put a move on Tom Freer here. You can see how he goes with the wounded car.
Interesting to see him look towards the outside.
Have seen at East Coast, Blake Wallboy's on the tyres back there on turn 9.
Don't remind us.
Say anything can happen here.
I know there's probably a few guys on old tyres out there hoping for a safety car right about now, so. Does look funny without a bonnet on it.
It does. No Bay 21 logo.
Yeah, as I say, Tom Freya just sliding into turn 1 there.
Dave Coleman asking if Fishy Motorsports is the other commentator. And I might just stay with Blake for another lap while we're here. So Blake definitely working very hard here at the moment. Full concentration. Doing well on the wounded girl to hang on.
I think by the end of this one, race control is going to have a couple pages in their book to go through.
Serious question. No, the fellow commentator tonight, Dave Coleman, is the El Supremo of WK&P, Ryan Van Ree. Not from Fishy Motorsports.
How am I going though?
Anyway, we'll let Blake get back to what he's doing. Jump back up the front here and see what's going on with Dylan O'Shea. He's still got Brad Radu tucked up behind him. And Craig Schultz a lap down in front. Great little battle. Because these boys now all pitted on lap 1 under the safety car. So there's a look at the strategy there. These top 4 boys running very long. Only have to make one more stop. Of course, Briggs Hobson stopped after 22, 23 laps. Freeman's another one going for that long stint.
So it looks like Freeman might have pitted
Twice as well, yeah. But
So,
there is that, I think you can only do one under a compulsory safety car, so
be interesting.
one compulsory stop under a safety car.
Now, it'd be interesting to know when that safety car call got made, whether a couple of guys were going to pit lane
For it, yeah.
prior to the call.
Yeah, that would make a big difference. And of course, James Scott is consistently a lap quicker than everybody else at the moment. So Scott is definitely flying.
Dylan Rudd and Dylan O'Shea both making quite good lap time still with their damaged cars. I would have expected a little bit of pressure starting to come on them from the guys behind.
James Scott working his way. Borgie's into the pits now. But James Scott is about 2.3 seconds behind Freeman in clean air, straight car.
Safest spot to be.
Of course, not sure what his tyre strategy is. He could be running the old set for this run as well.
It'll be interesting because now James has made 2 pit stops now.
Yeah, he has. You're right. Yep. So is he driving this to the end?
Theory, he could be driving this to the end.
So 26 laps to go.
Now we know the tyres will hang on. We've got Brent Hobson out there that's done now 40 laps on that set. Definitely makes it easy to nurse your tyres when you've got clear space like James does at the moment.
It can consistently just knock off your own laps.
Oh, we've got a car stuck in the wall in turn 4.
Turn 4 back there, yep. One of the 9.5 SimSport guys.
This might play into the hands of a few people here. Now,
And I've dismissed it by 1. There's someone stuck. No, it looks like he's got it going.
moving.
Managed to get it out.
Doesn't appear to be a lot of damage there on the front end either.
But that was Cam Jones. So he was the one sitting on the back of that pack that we had before from 9.5 SimSports. So those boys, of course, now we're seeing O'Shea, Rudd, Briggs. So a little bit of a reaction. A few boys maybe thinking we're about to get a safety car.
Yeah, we've got another spinner at the end of the back straight.
23. That's Craig Schultz, I think. He's got it going, though. Still moving forward. Engine's blown. Looking very second hand.
Yeah, so there's obviously been a fair bit of action here.
He's parked it up.
Yeah, looking at that car, I don't think it would have made it much further.
Looking very second-hand, Craig Schultz. Nicely parked under my camera.
Gas control is called safety car. So we've got a safety car.
Yeah, we've got a safety car. Oh, he's got it going again, though. That's interesting.
Oh, is that a little bit of team games?
That's very interesting. Anyway, try and keep an eye out this thing folds out.
Smoking like that, I would have probably parked it up as well, so...
That's interesting. So safety car was definitely called. And getting a bit of a push into the pits there.
Get a little bit of hurry on.
Yeah. So Hobson, Freeman, Scott, they're all pitted. So that was Hobbo doing the pushing up the hill.
Yeah.
Tom Frere.
He's very keen to get off those tyres he's on after 42 laps.
Absolutely. So he's Richie Barella sitting out there waiting to pick up our race leader. Who's it going to be? Of course, O'Shea and Rudd went in a little bit earlier, just before the call. Expecting a big shake-up here. I think it's going to be Hobson out first. O'Shea. O'Shea's got him. And Rudd. So where's Hobson? Oh, there's me bloody camera gone.
That little lane might have just hurt Hobson there, but fresh tyres, it's anyone's race now. Bunch the field back up.
Just want to have a look at something here. It's going to go Supercheap Auto replay. This is Hobson coming out. Oh, he's just got the one.
Yeah, he's got to the line, so leave us that one.
Yeah, so we're going to see Hobson in the middle of a 9-5 sandwich. And then we're going to have James Scott as his teammate fighting from behind.
So it's good to see after that pit stop, both the 9-5 cars looking nice and fresh. So somebody can let Sean go that I'll buy it as is now.
So it's going to be an epic battle here. This is shaping up to be one for the ages. This is going to be a 9-5 synergy battle. We've got Dylan O'Shea, 9-5. Hobson, the champ, sitting in second. Synergy. In third, we've got Dylan Rudd from 9-5. And then in fourth, we've got the championship leader, James Scott.
Yeah, did James pit under caution this time?
I believe he did. Scott's saying James didn't have enough fuel. So, yeah, he did pit. He did come in, top up his tank. So, as we talked about before, James don't like saving fuel.
I think we're going to see a crack in 23 laps.
Oh, it's going to be game on. I'm looking forward to this. So I might just quickly roll back a bit further down the pack. Then after Scott, we've got SSR's Briggs, then Ratu, and then the first of the Fishy Boys, Tom Freeman. Borgie back in 8th, John Stone 9th, Tom Freer in 10th. The Big Fish, Michael Whiting in 11th. Brody Sentence doing really well in 12th. Michael Angus, Beef Cheeks in 13th. Blake Wallboys 14th from WK&P. Seth Brown, Jamie McKnight, People's Champion 16th. Cameron G. Jones, Smart, Dengate, Latter. And then we've got Rigby, Mulford, Schultz, Barilla, Young, Mascoud. So it's going to be an epic battle to get home from here. And of course, our sensational Kia brought to us by Chuka Kia and, of course, the main man himself, Vehicle Finance Solutions. So big thank you to our sponsors of the safety car as it pulls away.
We watched Richie put in a couple fast corners.
Very nice, Rich.
Using all of the track.
Oh, screeching the tyres. So if you're in the chat, let us know who you think's going to take this one out, because I really can't call it out of those top 5 drivers at the moment.
Yeah, the old chat's gone a little bit quiet of late. Must be a bit too much action going on track.
Oh, everyone trying to keep up, I think. It's Dylan O'Shea in the straight 9.5 Sim Sports car.
They're all straight at the moment.
And looking forward to seeing when he goes here. Does he carry them through?
Oh, he's held.
He's holding them back.
Bunching them up. Now, that's different to the first restart where we saw Hobson leave in the
They
apex.
still haven't gone. Now he's away, I think. He's away now.
Spinners at the...
Oh, yep. Safety cars breed safety cars. Has come down into turn one.
Didn't quite catch who that was at the back of the pack there.
I think it might have been Sean Rigby, I think. Or Cameron Jones. Might have been his own teammate. They'll stall him up.
Might be Cameron Jones. It looked like one of the 9.5ers.
It's upset his own teammate. Anyway, carry on, boys.
Glad I'm not the team owner there.
As we're carrying on under a lot of pressure. Hobson. Got the nose down. Eyes on the man in front.
Very racy here.
Oh, Thomas Freeman's has been involved in something. Oh, I've missed that one. I'll try and come back to that. Keep an eye on the front here as well. Hobson having a little bit of a look, showing the nose.
Just looks like it's just struggling to stay with these guys just at the moment.
James Scott tucked up behind. Another one shuffling back on my leaderboard.
Got one in the wall at turn 3.
I think that might be Seth Brown, is it? No. They're having a shocker here. I've missed that. I think they've got themselves going again.
Yeah, back moving.
Or have they? I think McKnight was stuck back there. I think might have been Jamie, maybe. This is the battle. Try and keep our eyes up front here, I think, for a little bit. O'Shea, Hobson, Rudd. Scott, Briggs, Radu. Broken away a little bit now from Borgie. And these boys starting to look a little bit racy.
Adam Briggs and and Bradley Radu just closing back in on the back here, so it's turning into a 6-way battle.
Still got 20 to go, or 21 to go, so definitely still anyone's race here.
Yeah, I know Hobson won't like to be just sitting here following. We want to get back out to the front and lead and clear air.
Yeah, definitely stuck in the middle of a 9.5 sandwich at the moment is Hobson. Of course, the pro driver's definitely coming to the front now.
It's just interesting to see where the Dylan and Brenton make up their time. Dylan's doing everything he can here just to get off the corners and stop Brenton getting past him.
And of course, with an open setup league, they're not running the same.
No, that's right.
We have an epic finish coming on our hands here, I think. Oh, big move there from Rudd. Hobson's been shuffled back 2 spots. Scott now having a look on Rudd. Scotty gets it done. Hobson a little bit loose. Makes hard work for Briggs on the inside there. This gives O'Shea a bit of a gap, which I'm sure he'll be happy with. As we go door to door. Oh! Radu into the fence.
I don't know who was at fault there. But a little bit of contact makes it very difficult to brake and get the car turned in.
Definitely not easy. Might just quick go to the Supercheap Auto replay there. Have a quick look at that one. A little bit of movement off the wall where the grass comes out. This forces Radu out wide. And I'm just going to go snap back to that Seth Brown McKnight Dengate incident that we missed a little bit earlier.
Oh, that's what you could say.
That was the one where everyone was stuck in the wall at turn 3. And we'll go back to live pictures because we've got a battle on our hands up front.
Unfortunately, that one, I think there was a little bit of just having nowhere to go.
As O'Shea is our race leader. He's 0.6 ahead of Scott. Imagine James Scott will be trying to line that up. There we go. Scott Nolan saying that Radu is the off track.
Yeah, just there to see Radu end up like that. He was having a cracking race, up 20 plus positions.
It's still a battle here. Still got an SSR car and a 9.5 sandwich.
I wasn't expecting to see that with 18 laps to go. I was expecting this pack to hang around and stick together. So it sort of spread them apart a little bit.
Just means McNamara's got another car for sale. the old Radu entry.
That might be a little bit too soon.
Anyway, moving along. The battle continues. I might just go back a bit further here to Scott having a look.
He's really applying some pressure now, so he just wants to get to the front. I'm going to show a really good job here. The safest spot for him is to stay out in front.
Oh, he's forward. Keep working hard.
Yeah, he does really well. Even against James there, he gets a really nice exit. You can really see the toe effect kick in halfway down the straight there, though.
Very defensive from O'Shea. Allow Scott to get a good exit out of Dandenong.
Yeah, it might just be a little bit too soon. You know, Dylan was doing a really good job getting out of the corners. If he starts going shallow like that, might just even things up a little bit.
Let's see what Scott can do in the draft this time. Starting the close. Goes defensive. So you got to be careful that you don't get this over and under.
Yeah, that turn one's very difficult. It's easy to lock up a brake there, so running shallow in there, you got to be careful. What he's done here, he's brought his teammate back into play, so James is going to get a bit of pressure from Dylan Rudd here. Might just give O'Shea a bit of breathing space.
Of course, Briggs is only 1.3 back from these boys, then back to Hobson.
Yeah, I think Hobson will be cheering these guys on, just tell them to keep battling, boys.
Another
space up.
very defensive again into Dandenong. Oh, a little tap, slight tap there. Another one again. Oh.
It's all happening.
I was figuratively talking of an SSR Sam, 9.5 SSR Sam, which I didn't expect it to be like that. Oh, big swing over the lap traffic. That's like traffic. So Briggs has gotten through. Sorry, I missed that.
That's it. Come from back and forth.
Well, we did say if these boys start fighting, they'll catch up.
That's it.
Oh, here we go, dive. Oh, no, both around. It's O'Shea and Scott.
I tell you what, Hobson's done a good job there to split the gap.
Oh, this is huge. There you go, Supercheap Auto replay on this one. And they come in together here. Bit of a dive from O'Shea maybe. On the curb, O'Shea in the fence. Very lucky in aspect there that Scott didn't sit on the brakes. Spun the car out of the way of everybody else. And gets it going. Still trying to get it going by looks. That's back to live pictures, so not sure what's going on there. Took him a while to get out of that one, I think. Jump back up the front. Was that right?
I have a feeling he might have been stuck in the wall there, which can happen sometimes in iRacing.
Yeah, yes, the old particularly that spot there. So that's a bit disappointing. But we've still got a 2-horse battle. Rudd still in front. Adam Briggs, the man we call the past champion.
So I know Hobson might be disappointed that these guys have got up the road, but he's done a really good job to get through that incident with no marks on the car.
Of course, Hobson doing one of the things that Hobson does. Consistently finishes in the top 3 or 4. Won 2 championships at East Coast. The only man to win 2, Brenton Hobson. Very clever driver. Good racecraft.
I think what we're forgetting too is there's still 12 laps to go. Yeah. We've just had it all unfold. There's still so much left of the race.
Still a long way to go.
So it looks like there's going to be a post-race investigation into that incident. So Race Control want to have a good look at that one before they make a decision.
Yes. Has Whiting got damage? That is a question just been asked. Let's go see if we can find the big fish. The big fish is missing the big bonnet. No, he's got the bonnet. He's missing his boot.
Now, that mightn't affect him too much. I think there's a little bit of damage on the front there. Now, we saw Dylan Rudd getting around with no boot on before, so can be done. But yeah, there's a little bit of damage on the front there, probably not helping him.
And he's nicely in a big battle pack here, fighting away.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be when you're trying to get a wounded car to the finish line.
Nah, not the greatest place to be.
But yeah, I still wouldn't be giving up that 7th position, so...
Nah, you'd fight it to the end.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of course, just some interesting little facts. And we sort of talk about league champions. So James Scott has actually hasn't won the series, but has actually won 27 races, which is an interesting statistic. The next man, of course, is our past champion, Adam Briggs. He's won 10. And then our season 2 champion, Corey McFarlane, has won 10. Brenton Hobson has only won 6 races for his 2 championships.
Yeah, that's impressive. So that just shows that you don't have to go out and win every race to get a championship. Consistency
Consistency's the key.
Grinding out those results when you might have a little bit of bad luck.
Tom Freeman just getting past Chris Smart. John Rigby doing well, tucked up behind these boys. And Thomas Freeman's up 13 spots. Tom Freer, we haven't spoken much about Tom. He's in that train that had Michael Whiting in it.
Yeah, so he's done really well to bounce back from that drive-through earlier. Sitting in 5th position there.
Up 17 spots.
Yeah, it's a very impressive drive. Obviously, it's not over. He's got a fair bit of pressure mounting behind him.
Yep, Borgie keeping it on. Then you got Whiting. Warboy's recovering up to 8th. He's starting to put a bit of pressure on Whiting here. Brody Sentence in 9th. That's great to see. Having in the top 10.
He's we haven't mentioned much of Brody tonight. It's just been quiet.
Warboy's off the curb into Whiting. Oh, It's Whiting off, hook, line and sinker. Wow. Didn't take much. We talked about the curbs around this place. All it took was Warboys bouncing off the curb. And it's a slight little tap. And of course, Brody Sentence now under pressure from Ladder. Ladder coming through. So I'm expecting a call in there. It's jumped back up the front. Rudd still 0.7 up the road from Briggs. Hobson is about 3.6 back from those boys. They tend to go. Starting to get these guys spreading out a little bit here. Go back to Borgie.
Still got the battle packs though.
So Borgie under pressure, putting pressure on Tom Freeman here. So let's go back to that Sean Rigby. Got Radu behind, Angus in front. But not Angus, sorry. Christian Smart in front. Oh, here we go. Radu making a move. Angus behind, sorry. So Michael having a good look at these boys battling in front of him.
Radu would be trying just to get a few of those positions back now. He was running in the 4th position.
Yeah, definitely working hard here after he's off. Still up 10 spots though from the start. Started a rear grid though.
Impressive race. Still to be 10 positions up. Sorry.
He's done very well. Michael Angus, sorry, working very hard here to try and hang on to the back of these boys. So he's doing relatively challenging. And of course, we might just go to there. The other bloke we haven't mentioned much about tonight, Tim Mulford. He's been battling away, tucked up behind Dengate. He's up 3 spots. Good little battle here with H.
It was good to see H didn't get too much damage from that incident earlier.
There's Rigby and Radu side by side. Radu gets the job done. Moves him up to 12th. And Angus now having a look up the inside. Oh!
Just that one little mistake.
Doesn't take much. Angus doing really well there not to be part of an incident. Pulled that up sensationally.
Yeah, both guys struggling a little bit to pull it up there and done really well not to make contact.
And Radu, Christian Smart, Radu, both of them off wide here.
Oof.
Here comes Beef Cheeks.
Christian's done a good job there to hold that.
It's loud Angus through. Battles everywhere. This is the battle for 11th, this battle pack.
It was a very big slide. Those tyres will be hurting for the next half a lap.
Oh, yeah. Particularly if this is the old set too. Let's might just check how Tom Freer's getting on. Augie's starting to close that gap a little bit. It's now down to 0.4 of a second. Fluctuating a little bit. Was Tom up 17 spots. Might go back, check on this battle here. This is a little bit of fun here, these boys.
Yeah, just another one to mention, sitting in 4th position, Damien Johnstone. Yeah, he was on a little bit of a different strategy, and he's found himself back in fourth now. So
All right,
it's
he's
worked out for him.
done very well. Of course, Damien's got plenty of clear air around him. 2.5 up the road, 3.5 back. So 6 laps to go. He'd just be trying to cruise in here.
Yeah, he'll be hoping those guys out the front just start to heat things up. Obviously, Hobson's still a little bit off the back there, just due to avoiding some incidents.
And Adam Briggs, he's starting to close the gap now as well.
4 laps to go is decided.
It's time to turn the wick up.
Exactly.
Here we go. Let's see what Briggsy can do.
Now, I was saying before when O'Shea was out in front, just how well it got a drive off the corner, and Dylan Rudd seems to have done the same. So those 9.5 cars have really done well and set up this weekend, or this week.
Yeah, they've exceptionally getting that drive, which has been very tough to get around this place.
Yeah, it makes it very hard for the car behind to try and make a pass.
The clock is ticking down here as Rudd starts lap 63 of 66. I think he's got the answer for whatever Briggs can throw at him. Definitely a long way to go still.
It's stretched it out back out to that half a second, Dylan Rudd has. I saw just before it come down to that 0.3, so it's just responding to Adam Briggs there.
Tyres would be hurting, fuel loads would be coming down.
That's the difficult one, is after running for so long on old tyres and heavy fuel loads, is just knowing how hard to push or how hard you can push.
Definitely getting good drive off the corners, was Dylan. Which makes you think he's still got plenty of tyre left.
Yeah, with 2 laps to go, you're not going to leave anything left, so...
A big shout out to Will Wilson. Haven't seen Will for a while. Nice to have Will in the chat. Be pleased to know Dave Baldock is actually in race control this evening, Will.
It looks like the battle for that 6th, 7th, 8th position is really getting tight.
Yeah, we'll jump on that and have a quick look. Warboys, Borg and Ladder.
Yeah, all these guys have had a bit of a moment throughout the race, but still find themselves fighting well within the top 10.
As we can see how this battle here unfolds. Still be intrigued to know about the 2 stops early on that a couple of these guys made.
Yeah, it'd be interesting just to know after the race whether it was just due to a bit of damage. You know,
Yeah.
obviously there's quite a few guys out there that have made 3 stops this race. You know, the last thing you want to do is go and use a fast repair or something like that when you don't need it, and there's still 65 laps to go.
So the other little battle, of course, is Radu tucked up behind Freeman. And might just jump back on that Borg one. Gap closes right up, coming down in the Dandenong. Don't know whether Warboys has got the tyres to make a move here.
It looks like he's getting a nice exit.
Nicely driving along. And this bloke here is on the final lap. Adam Briggs still over half a second behind.
He's just kept him at that. Now they got a lapped car just up ahead of him. Hopefully doesn't play part to this.
Mr. Varela. Oh, Radu just lost a spot. A little bit of an off track there, I think. Freeman, not sure, might have been contact. Might save that to post race and go back and have a look. But Rudd started rear at grid, made up 24 spots, done really well to finish this one off.
Don't forget he had that moment too, so to come back from that, okay, hung the back of the car up at turn 4 off the fence, so no, that's a really, really nice drive there.
But done very well. Yeah, well, still doing the split 3 stuff on Friday nights at 9 o'clock. Split 3 vets, that is. As we might just jump back to that Radu incident and have a quick propaganda. We're talking about the Supercheap Auto replay. Just gone a little deep into turn 1. Lad Freeman through, and Dengate on the last lap as well had an incident. Down in the Dandenong, him and Mulford having a coming together. Freeman, Whiting in this as well.
It's like he might have been trying to readdress there, and just unfortunate for the car coming up
through.
behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely a battle. But congratulations, Dylan Rudd, Adam Briggs, Hobbo, John Stone, Freer, Borgie. And I wonder, this might work for me today. No, it's not. We'll go back. So an interesting finish to that one, but the man who's been taking the race wins will be interesting. And that, of course, has been James Scott. James Scott down in 24th after the massive incident and sitting in race control. So we'll leave that one for them. Staying out of that. Driver of the day, Ryan.
Now, I think it has to go to Tom Freer.
Tom Freer, that's a great.
Yeah,
Did well.
Just quite a achiever there. Yeah, he got involved in a little bit of incident in the middle there and got himself a drive-through, but to come back from that and finish where he did, pretty impressive drive.
Yeah, very impressive drive. We might hopefully have some of the boys drop in a second, say g'day, and we can have a bit of a chat, see how everybody got on. But big congratulations to 95 Sim Sports, Dylan Rudd, the man, the myth, the legend, bringing it home in first tonight. Starting rear grid and what you'd have to say is an epic battle. Yeah. And definitely wait and see what happens with race control. But Dylan, you're pretty happy with that one, and I think Sean McMahon are pretty happy with that one. Pretty.
I wonder if he's still trying to sell the car.
They can sell. What do they say? Win on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Something like that.
And of course, Briggsy home in second. That's great to see Adam. Adam's overdue for a good result, so I'm sure he'll be ecstatic with that. And Hobbo, as I said before, he's made a story out of winning championships from finishing second and third.
That's right. Would have been interesting to see if he just didn't get that air gap, what it would have been like.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting. And we might have a quick chat to the man that's in second at the moment. And the man who came second, Mr. Adam Briggs. How are you, Briggsy?
Oh, yeah, pretty good, John. It's good to actually put together a race that I don't absolutely wobble off the face of the planet, to be fair. I've had a few wobbler races that were full of wobbler moments, so it's a good track and it was a good event, and I think I got a bit lucky with dodging a few things and some ongoings and stuff like that, but other than that, it was a nice clean race for where I was, at least, anyway.
Yeah, it looked like an absolute battle there, mate. I've got to say you've done well. But the man of the moment, of course, is Dylan Rudd. Well done, Dylan. That's an epic effort, mate, to make up 24 spots from the back of the grid to win.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
So what was the strategy early on, mate? Just you kept out of trouble, of course. We had that couple of lap one incidents, but you pitted straight away.
Somehow made it through lap one. I think it was a bit of a miracle that I did.
You did really well. And of course, a fair bit of pressure put on you early on from James. And then Adam at the end there. It looked like you felt comfortable, like you had the pace on him.
Yeah, I could see I was slightly quicker through than Adam through the first chicane. I was making a bit of time up there on him, so the draft wasn't. We kind of evened out when he had the draft, so which was all right.
Yeah.
And then with James at the start of the race, I was putting a bit of pressure on me. He made a silly mistake and backed it into the wall onto the back straight, but yeah, still, yeah.
No, it's all right. No, it was good, mate. You should be pretty chuffed with that one. And the bloke we had in P3, of course, is the champ, Brenton Hobson. How are you, Hobbo?
Hello.
You've done it again, mate. You've got yourself on the podium. You seem to have a knack of doing this.
Yeah. It's the idea, right? A little salty. Should have won that one. Made a few mistakes. We got jammed up behind a blown up car coming into the pits, and then I overfueled by like 5 laps of fuel in the pit stop. So we got jumped there when we should have been leading at the last pit stop, and then got smashed into, car got busted, all sorts of dramas, and yeah, it was all no good from there. But we ended up third, I guess. I'll take it. I mean, at one point there, it didn't look like we should have.
Yep.
So you take a good points there when you get it. Got a cloud over us, I think, with one of the investigations. So we'll see what comes out with that. But I've got my opinion about what happened there too. So all good.
Tickets are coming in fast, hard and fast. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, Seb's got a long night ahead of him.
Just a quick one there, Hobbo. It's Ryan.
G'day, mate.
How's it going? Now, what was the instant reaction when you come out of turn 4 there and you had a big mess of cars in front of you? Was it a shut the eyes or?
Yeah, just close your eyes and pray. I don't know how close, if that's the one with James and Dylan. I don't know how close I got to clipping the nose of James, but it must have been close. Like
extremely.
Yeah, I thought I was going to hit him, and somehow sort of squeezed out the other side. So a lot more luck than good management in that one, but you just got to point for a gap and hope sometimes.
Yeah, James did. Like, we always hear this hold your brake, but James actually, I think, showed a fair bit of intelligence and flicked the car, which created a gap for everybody to get through. Because I think if he just sat there and held his brakes, no one was getting through.
Yeah, the track was pretty well closed.
Yeah, so good one there. And just before we run through all the sponsors and everything else, the driver of the day today went to a bloke up 17 spots to finish 5th, and that was Tom Freer. Well done, Tom.
Cheers, mate. That was bloody fun, I tell you what. There was a bit of carnage, but that was good carnage.
Glad you had fun, mate. That's the main thing.
How's Dylan Rudd, though? Like, started at the rear, all the way to the front. I'm surprised he didn't get driver of the day.
Oh, look, I think because he won was probably the only reason he got overlooked on that one.
Winning's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know how that feels.
We'll get there. We'll get there, mate. One day. I keep saying that. Mind you, I did fluke a race in Vets last season, so it is nice.
It's not a fluke. It's a calculated strategy that you pulled off.
Yeah, I'll say that.
In the seat.
Absolutely. Anyway, we'll wrap this up a little bit. We'll start with you, Dylan. I'll let you give some shout outs.
Yeah, thank all the boys on the team. Bit of a fun night tonight. Our sponsors, Racecar Simulations, Turn and Race Apparel, RSW Graphics, Racing Ears, Customer Protection, Cutting Edge Tracks, and RB Media. And thanks for you guys doing the broadcast.
That's all right, mate. Pleasure is ours. And these guys that make it more fun, and races like this are really enjoyable to watch. Lucky dip tonight. Seems you're so used to doing it. I might throw it to Briggsy.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'd like to obviously thank Works Racing Components, Parramatta Isuzu, Synergy Sim, of course. Yeah, and there's a few others. Yeah, West End Motor Group as well, and Dr. Epoxy. Yeah, those guys all really help us out. So
that's good. And next week, of course, we've got the driver's choice. We had 15 to 8 for this one, so we are off to Magnet Core. Any thoughts on that, lads?
I can't say I've turned a lap on it in iRacing. I think in other simulator titles it was very, very good. But but it has been modified by that gentleman. I think his name's Herman Tilker or whatever his name is. So it's tracks that normally get touched by him are a bit of a mixed bag. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Vets did round 1 there this season, and it was a really enjoyable track to race on. And it hasn't been touched as much as what you think it has.
Yeah, good. The less that guy touches things, the better. So
it's pretty much close to the old Formula 1 layout. So it was rather enjoyable. So I think the way you guys drive and the way you guys attack everything, I think we're going to be in for a fantastic race next week.
Cool.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up the broadcast. I want to say a big thank you. First of all, congratulations to Dylan, Adam and Hobbo on the podium, and Tom for driver of the day. Big thank you for Ryan for jumping in by marks away for filling in. And big thanks to everyone out in the chat watching. To these guys and your comments and stuff that make it really interesting. Particularly some insight from tonight as well with the likes of Scott Nolan jumping in and chirping up on what's going on with the SSR strategy. And big thank you, of course, to the race control and the league admins. And we will see everybody again 8:10 next week. Looking forward to it. Thanks again, guys.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. Some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well,